The objective of this series is to revisit crimes that have baffled police and specialists and up until now have remained unsolved. The information I discuss in all cases has been widely reported previously and is in the public domain. However, with time comes different memories, attitudes and situations. My hope is to help the families find some closure by detailing the events again. It is not my intention to cause any distress or hurt to anyone connected to the victims or viewers of this content, and would advise discretion if you feel it may cause upset. This is Liam Hill, a 44-year-old man who lived in the North Wales seaside resort of Rhyl. The photograph on the right is of CCTV captured on one of his last sightings. Liam was born in Liverpool, the youngest of 4 children, and when he was 1, he and his family moved to the Wirral area, where he eventually attended St Mary's Catholic School. In later life he moved to Rhyl to live with his mum Kath. He stayed with her for around 12 months and then continued to reside in Rhyl for approximately a further 10 years. He was very family oriented. He checked in on Kath daily and had a close bond with his siblings and their children. Sadly, his dead body was found on January the 8th, 2016 at his flat on West Parade in the town. It was Kath who discovered him, any mother's worst nightmare. The case was originally codenamed Panatella and was, and still is, shrouded in mystery and ambiguity. Even the last sightings of Liam differ somewhat. He was seen on Wednesday the 6th of January 2016 at Barbow in Rhyl, where he'd been drinking, and he'd been flitting between the pub and a nearby bookmaker's throughout the day. At approximately 6:30 to 7 p.m, he had left Barbow somewhat worse for wear, appearing intoxicated. He did, however, say to Kath afterwards that he had hurt his shoulder in a fall that night. Were there other injuries he could have sustained? Had he really fallen? Or had something else happened? Witnesses at his flat had found him slumped in the doorway that night. There were traces of his blood on the staircase, but the police were unable to date them forensically. However, other witnesses came forward to say Liam had been spotted the night after at Asher Indian restaurant in the town centre. This was the night before he died. At the inquest, Brian Rogers, a Home Office pathologist, described the case as bizarre, with the cause of death being head and chest trauma, and to quote, "Liam Hill suffered a number of injuries that are difficult to explain. I've been doing this job for 17 years, and it's a very difficult case to interpret. I don't think the answer lies within pathology." He also advised the police that the case should be looked at as a potential murder until proven otherwise. The case remains unsolved, but it is still open. John Gittins, the coroner, recorded an open conclusion at the inquest in Rhythin. To help jog the memory of people, and I do mention this again shortly, Wednesday the 6th of January was the night of the League Cup semi-final first leg between Everton and Man City. Everton won the tie 2-1 with goals from Mori and Lukaku. The City goal was from Navas. To help further jog the memory, I decided to visit Rhyl and show you some current up-to-date footage of Barbow, Asher Indian restaurant, and the house where Liam lived. For clarity, I will be repeating some of this information I've already mentioned, just so you can identify what I am talking about. Be it a terrible accident or something far more sinister, Liam's family have suffered enough. It's time to come forward. January 6th, 2016, Liam Hill was seen drinking in Barbow. It was the night of the Everton versus Man City League Cup semi-final. If you want to cast your minds back to that. Everton actually won that game 2-1, if anybody remembers it. Now, what do we know about Barbow? So Barbow closed down later that year. It did have its licence revoked due to a number of incidents and antisocial behaviour, and it was said non-compliance with joining schemes things. But there were a number of bad incidents, violence, underage drinking allegedly, drugs, dealing and taking, that kind of thing. The council had had enough, as had the police. So that was where Liam was drinking. Now, whether something occurred that night remains to be seen, but I've just done the walk from where Liam lived, and it takes around about 5-10 minutes tops if you've had a skinful. Literally just round the corner. Now the following evening there was another sighting. You're looking at Asher's Indian restaurant and takeaway, and that was the last sighting of Liam Hill in public. That was on January the 7th 2016. So it begs the question, and it's a big one, if it can only take around about 10 minutes from there to his house on West Parade, what happened in that period of time? Post-mortem showed head and chest trauma, which was consistent with an attack. And the detective superintendent at the time was sure and certain that the answer lies within the local community. But to date, no one has been held responsible. There was a couple of arrests, but the lady and gent that were arrested were released. So I'm just walking down here to give you an idea of perspective. Anybody that knows Rhyl will recognise that tower in the centre of the screen, and how close it is to West Parade. So cast your mind back. The last sighting was the day after the League Cup semi-final with Man City and Everton. I know it's a while ago, 2016, but if anybody knows anything, you need to come forward now and give the family some closure and peace. Okay, so I'm on West Parade in Rhyl, the sea being just over yonder. This structure here that's undergoing significant renovation, as you can see, is where Liam Hill was found, deceased. Number 70 West Parade.